3-1 defeat at Westham last season, an early kickoff fixture. 1-1 draw at Westham, second leg fixture. 3-2 loss at Westham, again another early kickoff. And the last time Chelsea won away at Westham was a 1-0 victory during Thomas Tuchel's era. In that period, we've had more than 5 managers. So Westham away is another bogey fixture for Chelsea. Now, when we looked at the last game when Chelsea faced Bournemouth, we looked at some of the tactical problems that actually affected Chelsea's overall gameplay in that game. One of it was playing Wesley Fofana as a central centre-back, the deployment of Axel Disasi, and changes that Enzo Maresca made at halftime that gave Chelsea much needed balance in that team, with the introduction of Jadon Sancho, the introduction of Tosin Adarabioyo, the introduction of Christopher Nkunku, and the further movement of Cole Palmer in the team. So in our video today, it's a very unique video as we are going to do a match/tactical preview of the early kickoff fixture that Chelsea go away at the London Stadium, one of the toughest fixtures for Chelsea. We know Chelsea have really struggled in this ground, and winning this game will give Chelsea 3 huge points that they have lacked in the last 3 seasons. So in our video today, we're going to look at what Enzo Maresca said in his press conference, my lineup for this game, and the predicted lineup, as well as the tactical side of the game using our tactical board. Before we even begin our analysis, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. So Enzo Maresca came in and, as usual, ready to make his press conference and explain what he's actually how the team is prepared in this game, the injuries, the team news, as well as the off the pitch problems that Chelsea have faced with regards to Clearlake and Todd Boehly. The first thing that he really addressed was the striker situation, talking about how he brought on Christopher Nkunku in the box to actually give Chelsea more quality in the box. He also talked about, he was asked about Jackson, but he really dwelt on how he just preferred Nkunku towards the latter stages of the game. Now, is that going to inform who is going to pick to play as a striker? Yes or no, but you're going to find out in my lineup. He also talked about the injury. Seems again that both of our right backs are out. Now, Malo Gusto is back in training, but is not yet fit to start this game. Probably is going to start in the Conference League next week, or in the Carabao Cup, sorry. Reece James is still out, so this is really bringing a lot of questions, because now Reece James just got injured in pre-season, and it was a minor injury. Now it looks like he has already missed the first 2 months of the season. It's really creating a worry, especially if him being a captain and he's never playing. It's going to, tough questions will have to be asked in the transfer window. But let's dive right into it. Let's try and see the lineup. So I'm going to give you the lineup that I think Maresca can pick, and as well as my preferred lineup for this game. So let's get into it. So no changes happens in goal after a remarkable penalty save and his good start of the season. It's more likely that Robert Sanchez is going to retain his position in between the sticks, and he's going to be a very crucial player for Chelsea, especially to how Enzo Maresca wants to play at Chelsea. Now let's move at the defenders. Now the back four, I'm going with Fofana at right back. I'm going to Tosin Adarabioyo as a right-sided centre-back. I'm going for Colwill as a left-sided centre-back, and Marc Cucurella as the left back. I do not want to play Disasi at right back, and I would prefer to have Wesley Fofana there. He's faster, he's better at passing the ball, he's better at carrying the ball in this position, and he's also good at playing as a right wide centre back. Tosin Adarabioyo comes in to bring that stability he brought as the central centre back. We are going to see that tactically. In midfield, I'm going to go with a double pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Really missed Enzo Fernandez in the previous game. We lacked some kind of control in that midfield, the ability to actually look and create, dictate the tempo of the game, try and improve the overall performance of the team in midfield. That was something that Chelsea really lacked in that midfield position. Again, we go on to the next position, which is the front three ahead. I'm going to go with Pedro Neto down the right, Palma down the middle, and Jadon Sancho down the left. Sancho's incredible performance, he needs to make his official full debut. And I also believe that Pedro Neto will be much lethal for Chelsea playing down the right. I believe that Noni Madueke has lost his mojo, and even throughout that game, he was very selfish towards Cole Palmer, and I want him to have the bench so that at least Neto can give him some competition there. Leading the line here, I'm going to be quite controversial with you. I'm going to pick Nicholas Jackson because I believe his pace, his strength will be very important because West Ham is one of the most physical, imposing teams. I do not believe that Nkunku is ready to play against a very physical team such as West Ham. And let's look at the subs. So definitely we are going to have subs, and there are some key players that I would like to see come on, and one of those players will be Christopher Nkunku. I'd like to see him come on around the 60th minute. Joao Felix can also come in, and Christopher Noni Madueke, depending on how Chelsea, the situation of the game. Maybe if Chelsea are looking to chase a goal, you can bring the three of them, or at least to get some fresh legs. And also these are players who can also start the midweek Carabao Cup game. So let's look at the tactical side. Now, West Ham and Lopetegui are a much more possession-based, high-pressing team. So most likely, being at home, they will like to play on the front foot. So this will be like going to try and press Chelsea aggressively high up the pitch. Now, when they decide to press with just one solo player, then Chelsea can decide to shift into a back four with Tosin Adarabioyo playing alongside Robert Sanchez as the two center backs in this position, with Colwill and Fofana spreading on either side of the two. And this can allow Palma and Enzo Fernandez to pick up those half space positions, while Marc Cucurella, who's playing as the left back, can look to invert in that midfield. So this automatically gives Chelsea numerical advantage in build-up, because rather than building, they will be building up with a 4 as well as 2 pivots, making them to have 6 players in build-up and 5 players in attack. And these 6 players will automatically outnumber West Ham and be able to bypass the first line. And if the ball reaches to the double pivot and West Ham are only pressing with Souček, then Chelsea are able to beat this. If West Ham look to commit more players forward to try and limit Chelsea's build-up play, then Chelsea can deploy their players who play in those pockets of spaces to move on to the wide areas and receive the ball directly from the unorthodox fullbacks. This will enable players such as Fernandez and Cole Palmer to pick the balls both in the wide areas as well as in between the lines, so that Chelsea can have much needed stability in that advanced midfield position. If West Ham decide to go with a 4-4-2 press and look to try and press the two centre backs man to man, then again it's up to Enzo Maresca with the positional play strategy to actually look to try and outnumber West Ham. One way of actually doing this is having both Colwill and Tosin Adarabioyo spreading on either side of Robert Sanchez, giving him that needed solidity, and having a player like Fofana look to occupy those wide channels together with Pedro Neto in those wide areas. This will enable Chelsea to have those numerical advantages, especially on one side of the pitch, allowing Chelsea to be able to progress with the ball, because now they'll be able to outnumber the opponent in the build-up phase by having 5 players against 4 and having more players in the attacking areas compared to the opponent. Chelsea should be quite resolute. Chelsea should be quite ready, and Chelsea should be ready to play balls over the top, because West Ham will be looking to press aggressively high to maintain that maintain that aggression. They'll have to use their high line. Also, looking at the game against Manchester City, we realized there was a lot of space behind West Ham's backline, and that is something that Chelsea should really capitalize on. And during settled phases in possession, Chelsea should ensure that they come up with ways to stop this strategy. But one way we realize is that teams have looked to clog the center, so Chelsea will have to heavily rely upon the wide areas. Now, the wide areas are very, very important for Chelsea in this game, because now there is where the actual game is going to be played, won, and going to be lost also. So teams have really looked to play with a 4-4, something that I have explained how Pochettino gave the blueprint of beating the box midfield. Chelsea can adapt similar to the way Manchester City have adapted this season by having 3 players advanced. That is one of Cucurella actually moving into that left half space position. And since the opposition will be looking to play narrow, then you can have Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez spreading out wide, allowing Palmer to be the only player in that number 10 position. And these 2 players can receive the ball and look to automatically generate that 2v1 overload against the opposition fullback. Now, this is very important for Chelsea because now they'll be able to force West Ham. Another thing now we need to look at is how Chelsea can stop West Ham. Remember, West Ham has very, very good players. We have Paqueta, we have Kudus, and these are very, very talented players. So Chelsea should know how to stop them. They need to understand that they should press West Ham aggressively high, in that West Ham have not yet settled, have not yet transitioned from David Moyes' passive football to Lopetegui's progressive passing football. So they should know how to pounce on when this team is actually looking to play from the back. Chelsea should also understand how Lopetegui likes to use his striker by having him drop deep, by having one centre-back drop deep, and Chelsea moving into a pseudo-back 3 and ensuring they win those second balls and those aerial duels. So Jadon Sancho, a player who came in and impressed against Bournemouth, is a key player who a lot of people will be focusing on, looking at how he can actually try to recreate his exemplary performance against Bournemouth in this game. This is going to be a very tough fixture, and Jadon Sancho has to step up and showcase why he needs to actually showcase his talent and get the best for Chelsea. What are my predictions for this game? It's an early kickoff, and early kickoff games are usually banana skins. As I have shown you, Chelsea have not won at West Ham for the past 3 seasons. It is that boogie ground. We know the Chelsea boogie grounds. We have the Everton ground, that is there's the Everton Park. We don't win it. Goodison Park, we don't win it there. We don't win at the London Stadium. We're yet to win at Bournemouth. At least we won this time. We've not won at Brentford. You know, those teams that we just play that you are somehow scared about. But I believe that our fortunes might change tomorrow, and we might actually get our first win in 3 seasons in this game. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win in this game, and I believe that there is enough firepower to actually propel this team. And the week where they have been free, I think they have trained more on this game. Thanks for watching, and see you in the post-match analysis.